Let's jump right into this explainer. The whistle is blown, the stakes are literally as high as they get, and today, we're doing a complete tactical breakdown of Roberto Martinez's Portugal squad for the 2026 World Cup. We're talking about a team absolutely loaded with an embarrassment of riches. It's a squad carrying massive expectations, but, and this is a big but, they're also lugging around some truly baffling tactical baggage. I am so pumped to guide you through this because, wow, the sheer amount of talent on this roster is staggering. But, as you're going to see, just because you have all the puzzle pieces doesn't mean the manager actually knows how to put them together.
I mean, even the ultimate pop culture oracle has weighed in. Yep, The Simpsons predicted it. Portugal is winning the World Cup. It's a hilarious line, but honestly, it perfectly captures the sky-high, almost mythical hype surrounding this team. This could legitimately be Portugal's greatest World Cup squad ever. Roberto Martinez has already grabbed a Nations League trophy with them, but the World Cup, that's the ultimate test. And for some fans, this hype doesn't just feel real, it feels entirely predestined.
All right, moving right into Section 1, bizarre goalkeeper rotation versus defensive depth.
Right off the bat, we're looking at a huge contrast in this squad. On one hand, you have the ugly, a completely bizarre, honestly inexplicable choice to bring 4 goalkeepers to a short tournament. But then, on the flip side, you have the beautiful. We're talking about the deeply emotional, powerful inclusion of Diogo Jota after his tragic circumstances. It really signals that this team is fighting for him. Couple that with a heavily fortified center-back depth full of absolute rocks like Gonçalo Inácio and Ruben Dias. It's this wild mix, right? A squad that is emotionally united, yet tactically puzzling from day one.
So, let's look at those keepers. You've got Diogo Costa, obviously, the undisputed #1, then Rui Silva and Jose Sá. Makes sense, right? But then Ricardo Vejo from Firenze. Wait, what? In a World Cup, you rarely, if ever, use your second or third keeper unless disaster strikes. Taking a 4th keeper? That's literally throwing away a roster spot. The source points out they could have brought an extra midfielder, someone like Matheus Fernandes, who posted stellar ball-winning and distribution numbers in the Premier League. Instead, that precious spot goes to a guy whose main job is probably going to be watching from the stands. Okay, shifting gears to Section 2, fullbacks. Defense versus offense. Out on the left flank, Nuno Mendes is the undisputed starter, no questions asked. But on the right, Martinez has a massive headache. You've got Matheus Nunes, who brings this incredible defensive solidity, immense physical strength, and just great ball-carrying ability. But then you contrast that with João Cancelo. Cancelo isn't just a defender, the guy is a highly creative outlet. When you're trying to break down a stubborn team sitting deep in a low block, Cancelo's elite crossing and tight space creativity are exactly what you need. So the million-dollar question is, do you want ironclad balance or do you unleash raw creative chaos? But here's the kicker. Despite having these incredible dual options in Nunes and Cancelo, Roberto Martinez has this stubborn, kind of concerning habit. He consistently prefers to start Diogo Dalot on the right flank. Time and time again in friendlies, Dalot is the first name on that right side, even when wildly better, more dynamic tactical options are sitting right there on the bench. It's a really frustrating tactical blind spot, and frankly, it could cost them big time in high-pressure matches.
Let's move into the midfield. Section 3, Bruno Fernandes, the engine room.
In case you missed it, Bruno Fernandes just shattered the Premier League all-time record for the most assists in a season. Yeah, the source is absolutely uncompromising on this. The entire team must be built around this man. With a player like Vitinha operating behind him to progress the ball, Bruno can just be unleashed. He totally thrives on that direct, aggressive play, picking out runners and dropping the ball right over the head of the defensive line. Any tactic that doesn't maximize Bruno Fernandes' time on the ball is, straight up, a failing tactic, period.
But hovering right behind Bruno is our next major midfield dilemma. See, Martinez really tends to favor seniority, which means he consistently picks the veteran Ruben Neves. But our source argues this is a huge mistake. Actually, scratch that. It's a critical error. João Neves has been an absolute revelation, giving PSG elite ball-winning capabilities in the biggest matches. Why does that matter here? Well, Portugal loves to dominate possession, but as we're about to see, their forward line does not like to press. They desperately need João Neves' elite pressing in the midfield to cover for those attackers up front.
Which brings us to the forwards. Section 4, attacking variety for Ronaldo.
Let's break down these attacking options, because it's a real mixed bag. First, you have Rafael Leão, who has this explosive, virtually unstoppable 1v1 power, but his end product and decision-making in the final third can sometimes draw a total blank.
Then there's Pedro Neto, who gives you endless running and covers the whole front three, though he does have some technical limitations. You've got Francisco Conceição, bringing that much-needed pressing energy, even if he's a bit rash. And finally, Trincao, coming off a phenomenal season at Sporting, who brings absolutely vital link-up play. Like I said, isolated strengths, but a mixed bag.
And here's the giant glaring red flag our source points out, the pressing problem. Guys like Rafael Leao and João Felix just flat out lack the necessary off-the-ball work rate. We have to be brutally honest here. Cristiano Ronaldo is aging, and his movement is naturally getting a bit rusty. If you play an older striker alongside wingers who basically refuse to press and win the ball back, you are creating a massive, gaping tactical liability. Teams will just play right through your front line like it's not even there.
So how on earth did they fix this? Well, the source pitches a really fascinating idea. Can Trincao be the secret weapon? Since Trincao is so good in tight spaces and excels at quick link-up play, he might be the exact profile Ronaldo needs right now. Picture this, Trincao playing lightning-fast 1-2s with Ronaldo right at the edge of the box. If he actually gets the minutes, Trincao could totally emerge as the surprise star of the tournament. He provides the exact mechanical connection this forward line is missing, and honestly, that could be the difference between an early exit and a deep, deep tournament run.
Okay, time to wrap things up. Section 5, the ultimate World Cup verdict.
Looking at their group stage path, they have to get past Colombia, DR Congo, and Uzbekistan. Now, on paper, Portugal should coast to the top of this group. But whatever you do, do not sleep on Colombia. The source really emphasizes that Colombia is a massive, highly dangerous threat. They are fully capable of pulling off major upsets against tournament giants. Honestly, having to settle for a draw in that game is a very real possibility if Portugal lets their tactical vulnerabilities show.
Which leaves us with this final question to ponder. Does this historic squad actually have the perfect tactical balance to survive a gauntlet like Colombia, navigate the knockout rounds, and finally lift that World Cup trophy? The talent is there, absolutely no doubt about it. They arguably have the greatest midfield in the entire tournament. But if the manager's stubborn selections hold them back, all that golden potential could just evaporate. So what do you think? Are we looking at a team destined for absolute glory, or are we in for a month of tactical frustration? Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer. Keep analyzing, keep questioning, and I'll catch you next time.